Hello, Aries. Welcome to your reading for June. So, just a few things that I want to point out about our reading so far is that it was tough for the cards to come out. It was like, which could signify like some confusion in the energy. Like the fact that it was difficult to get the cards that were for you for this reading, they really shows me that maybe you feel like you don't know what's going on. Like you feel like I don't know where I'm at in the different areas of life. Just a lot of contemplation, a lot of like not being 100% sure or anchored into any one energy. So that just being kind of like what is happening off the top. Let's dive in a little bit to these cards and see what we can bring out. So first of all, you had the Hierophant in the upright. Okay, so our Hierophant, if I can talk, today has been a weird day. I haven't been able to talk all day. I did the weirdest thing. If you're on my TikTok, you'll see. I talked about it on there. That I was in my car and like it was like thank God I have a smart car because like I just like got out of the car. I was like getting ready to just leave the car in the parking lot, not in park. And my car has a feature that's like ding 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 ding, it tells me that it's like not your car's not in park, and I couldn't figure out what it was doing. And like it's just been one of those days where like my whole head has been super weird and cloudy. So I'm feeling that. I'm feeling this energy for you of just like I don't know what's what. I don't know what's going on. I am a little distracted. I'm a little confused, a little all over the place. Like probably because Aries reading was supposed to come out today. So that could be a thing. That could be how you're feeling. If it is, just drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But let's talk about our Hierophant in the upright here. So I like that it is in the upright because this is talking a lot about like tradition, structure, learning from your established systems, and it can speak of just wisdom. So I do feel like you're like learning some things about yourself. You're coming into some awarenesses, I feel like it is. I'm almost feeling like an awakening energy around this card. Like tapping into a divine wisdom, like a knowing that you've always had, or maybe just finally utilizing knowledge that you've had for a long time and like choosing now to be wise in that way where we're doing what we need to do with the knowledge, right? Because knowing a lot of stuff makes you smart, but knowing a lot of stuff and then applying it to your life in a way that is useful and creates results, now that's wisdom, right? So we're stepping into this new place with the Hierophant being in the upright. So learning from things like established systems, so taking a look at like orders and processes and the systems that govern your life, and like how can I work within those systems instead of work against them. I want to know about these things. I want to know about how things work in the world. I want to know about how things work in the education system so that I can harness more education. I want to know about how things work in I don't know, the financial system so that I can create more money for myself. I want to know what's blocking me and what's stopping me within these systems. What have I not figured out about the way that the world works? And how do I get it to feel like it's working for me rather than against me is like what I'm hearing. Okay. So what else here with the Hierophant? God, following your own path and respecting traditions and values that you hold. So I feel like this is so much about so I'm hearing like values and the word just like being a good person came to my consciousness. So that's what God's saying right now is like it's the values that you hold, it's the morals that you have, it's the being what makes you feel like you're being a good person. And it's like feeling like that's the trying to operate with those values and with those morals, and what makes you feel like a good person, but within those systems and structures that you have to, learn to play around in order to be in the world, it seems like maybe why this is in the upright position, like getting rewarded, having a payoff, in that area where this is a strong, having a strong character, and like that helping you in regards to the systems, right? Helping you at your job, helping you in your business, helping you in your relationships, right? That your character, what played a role in getting you working within these systems in the way that you did, or something like that. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it makes zero sense when I'm saying that, but then that's always the time when somebody's gonna leave a comment and be like, no, that's me. I swear, like, my morals and values like paid off for me, and that's what created like this good result within a system where it typically wouldn't, and because I stood up for like what I believed in, right? Like that kind of a thing. Like I stood up for what I believed in, like I stood up for what I believed in. I stood up for myself. I maintained my morals. I maintained my integrity. I had values within this system where there normally is, it's lacking that, right? And that is why I struggled to work within these systems, but also why I'm being rewarded within these systems, because it's so rare, right? It makes you a luxurious item, makes you a luxurious vibration, because you become a rarity in this way, and people are gravitated towards that. It's so fresh, it's so rare, it's so genuine, and so amazing to have that sort of a character show up, right? That people are very much attracted to that energy, Aries. So I guess good job. Like, good job. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate. So, routines and situations. It's kind of this question of like, also like what you're supposed to do. Maybe you're asking yourself, what am I supposed to do? Like, what? I feel frustrated around this energy though too, because even though you're seeing that the character is paying off for you, you're getting some good results, but you're also still in this place of like super confusion about how to move forward, because you're like, what do I do? That's what I'm hearing. What do I do? What am I supposed to do? How do I break free also from these structures and systems, right? Because maybe I'm getting a decent payoff, but it's also still not quite the payoff that I want, not quite the reward that I was, I still want. There's still other things that I need to do. There's so much more for me. There's so much more out there that I didn't even realize. My eyes have been opened, right? Oh, I said that earlier. It's an awakening energy. My eyes have been opened. I see all this that's more that now I can see, right? I was blind and now I see, and then now all of that is feeling like such a big, impossibility, because you're realizing that there's just so much more. When in terms of wisdom, there's a lot more I need to know. There's a lot more I need to figure out. There's a lot more that I gotta like learn to do and navigate, and it's all so far out of my comfort zone, or it's all so far out of the realm of what I'm used to, what I've been taught. Nobody was here, no, maybe you didn't have role models that, in your life as a child that looked like the things that you're trying to go after right now. And that's okay, says Spirit. Like, that's okay, says God. You don't have to have that because you have me. So that's the number one structure that needs to be followed, is a spiritual structure. I'm hearing that surrender to a spiritual architecture, that there's a divine architecture, a spiritual structure that is to be followed, and that's the only one that you need to worry about, and that the material, 3D earthly things will, they have to honor the spiritual structure. So don't worry so much about the earthly systems. Worry more about the spiritual systems, and then you'll be just fine, my beautiful, beautiful, fun, fantastic Aries. Okay? Did that make so much sense? I hope it did. Drop it down in the comments if you're vibing with the Hierophant, if you made it this far, okay? I need to know. I need you to tell me. Okay, let's move on for just a minute here. Okay, deep breath, Aries. We're moving on. Okay, we're going to talk about our Eight of Cups here. This guy's pretty fun right now. I'm glad he's in the mix. Alright, it's about walking away. But I don't even feel like this is about physically walking away at all. I feel like this is about emotionally walking away, mentally walking away. I'm feeling airy fairy energy with this. I feel like this vibe is intended to lift you into thinking about more of your subtle bodies and less about the three-dimensional reality. Even though there is a lot, I feel like, going on with the three-dimensional reality for you right now, I feel like this is talking about an emotional stepping away. It's about walking away from things that are, like, not fulfilling you anymore, right? This could be addictions. This could be obsessions. This could just be things that have, like, ran their course or they're played out in your life. It's not working anymore, right? And it's funny, I talked about this in a group session just very recently, that it's like this void, right? There's a void that we fill. We also talk about this in my book, How to Wear a Crown, A Practical Guide to Knowing Your Worth. Shameless plug, get it on Amazon. But we talk about the void a lot in my world, okay? And, like, it's that space inside of you that feels empty. I was just going to run right over the fact that I just did that shameless plug thing and not laugh at myself. I was so serious. It was not shameless or not shameful at all. Like, go get my book. It's a great book. Okay. Anyway, this is talking about that void, man. It's talking about that void, which means that part of ourself, inside of ourself, that we feel this emptiness, we feel this empty space, and we fill it. But we're filling it with the wrong thing, whatever that is. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, right? We're going to fill it with something, whether it be drugs, alcohol, people pleasing, codependency. Those are all kind of the same thing. But we can be filling it with working out. We can be filling it with zoning out, like avoidance coping mechanisms, gambling, whatever the thing is that is like a temporary fix for instead of a long-term solution, right? It's not a fulfilling thing. And then that void, whatever void it is that you have, there's typically like a puzzle piece, something that's supposed to go in that void space, whether it be a certain type of healing. Maybe it's healing a certain inner child age, maybe it's I don't know, right? We don't know, and that's the problem, and that's why we fill it with the wrong things. But once you find that thing that you're supposed to be filling that spot with, meaning, purpose, our mission, the love of our family, whatever it is that I'm really looking for that makes me feel like I'm doing, like my soul is fulfilled, right? Then it doesn't. It's a long-term gratifying thing. And so I liken this to be like snacking, okay? So this is like spiritual food. So, like, if I'm hungry and then I'm just eating like snacks all day, like I'm gonna eat candy and I'm gonna eat pretzels, I'm just eating these little snacks, but really, like, I am hungry and I need some food. I need a steak, I need some potatoes. Like, I can snack all day long and that never fulfill me the way that the steak and the potatoes would, right? So this is that same idea that, like, when you have a voice, or when you have a void, a voice, we have to find the true thing to fill that space, okay? And I feel like that you're doing that, though. But we haven't really filled the void. We're walking away from the thing that I've been filling it with kind of superficially, if that makes sense. But we haven't really found, like, the thing that is supposed to go in that space. Okay? So that would be like the next step for you. That would be where I would look a little deeper into this for myself. Okay, yeah, I put that down. I walked away from this thing that's like not been fulfilling me. But where do I go now? What do I do to feel like not just empty, like I just took something away from myself? What do I do to feel fulfilled? Okay, Aries, we get it. Okay. And then so we did have our Eight of Pentacles, but we had it in the reverse. Your only card in the reverse. But it usually points to frustration. Oh, I did say I felt some frustration energy in here. So frustration, stagnation, when it comes to skill building, efforts, work. You might feel like you're putting in a lot of energy but not seeing results the way that you expected, which very much ties into the way that this one played out over here. Talking about, just, the morals and the values, but still there was so much more, right? There was so much more. This is here. I am seeing results, but it's like, geez, haven't I put in more work to equate like a bigger result, is what I'm hearing. And then like putting in, see how hard he's like working and he's getting on these pentacles, but he doesn't really feel like it. Being in the reverse makes me feel like he doesn't feel like this is working. He doesn't feel like he's getting these. Like he's just working and working and working and working and working and working. But it's not like worth it, It's like, is it worth it? What I'm doing worth it? Questioning if what you're focusing on is worth it. It's being like, it's like a sense of being stuck in the grind with no growth, and like the rat race kind of thing. So I don't know if you're like feeling like you're in the rat race, if you're, I'm going in a circle, I'm just spinning my wheels, like whatever that, you want to say, however you want to say it. And I feel so serious. Like I did the Scorpio and I did the Sag readings, and they were so funny. And like I laughed so much and just was so silly during those readings. And with yours, I don't feel silly. Like I feel maybe like I was just like ran right over that. And like normally I would laugh so hard at myself for doing the plug, and like, but I was like, but I'm so serious about this. I'm so serious about this. Like there's no shame in my game, right? Maybe that's your vibe here, right? No shame in my game, dude. I'm gotta figure this out. I'm gonna get my pinnacles. I'm tired of working aimlessly. I'm tired of just, working and working and working and not getting what it is that I feel like I'm working towards. I was working towards something, is what I'm hearing, Aries. It's like, I'm working towards something. I've been working for a goal in mind. I had a vision, man. But what I've been doing hasn't been leading to the goal and the vision. Not the one that I was expecting. Yeah, I'm getting stuff from it, but like, dang, right? Where is the thing that I've been working towards? Why is that not showing up in my reality? So the grind with no growth. That's probably going to be what your reading is going to be called. I never know the name until like halfway through the reading. Grind with no growth. So what we need to do is learn how to flip this upside down, which anytime there is a reverse card, we're going to figure out how to turn that frown upside down, right? So we're going to learn how to grind for the growth. Like, you don't care to work, right? Like, that's what I'm seeing here. You do not care to work. You just need to see the payoff, You just need to see the payoff. So what we're going to do is look at burnout. Are you burnt out because you're working around something that you're not passionate towards? Are you working without the proper intention? Are you having trouble with focus to where you're burning your energy in weird places where you're not laser focused? That's what I feel that too. Like if you're laser focused on your one goal instead of your energy being scattered, right? Like say my fingers are like energy streams. If I'm laser focused on one, I have all my energy, right? Ducks in a row, all pointed on the same direction, instead of all these, my energy scattered into lots of little bitty streams that are focused on all kinds of different things. I'm going to see results faster because I'm pouring more energy into that one goal. So I think you need to see payoffs, but be intentional because you can make it to where you can see payoffs. Does that make sense? Like, comment down below if that makes sense. Like that you don't just have to wait for a payoff to happen. Like you can learn to set a proper goal, create objectives, make lists, check things off, boom, 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 and reach a final thing, right? Set up your days, set up, actionable plans and goals for yourself that make you get that feeling that you need of seeing results that you want. You do not have to like just wait around for like, I'm hearing like God to strike you with a lightning bolt, for things to happen for you. You can be actionable and you can make your life happen the way that you want it to. You have more power than you think you do, Aries, but I love how spiritually in tune we are here too, where we're like, I think that you are in alignment with knowing that there is this spiritual architecture, right? That came up for a reason. There's a spiritual component to this that I have to follow. There's spiritual principles that I have to, be in alignment with and follow instruction divinely. But also, when it comes to things in the physical world, make a list, check it off, make a plan, write down the steps to that plan, do the next right thing until you get, baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step, just following instructions until you get, right? It's like a cake mix, right? That's going to have, 8 steps on the back of the box of like how to make a cake. And if you just follow those instructions, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, by the end of the cake mix, or by the end of the instructions, like you're going to have a cake, right? Don't skip a step. Don't change any of these steps because you think they're stupid. Like just do the steps exactly how it says on the cake box and you will end up with a cake. It's that kind of a thing. And that might be where we're losing our focus because we're like want to look at the whole directions and look at the end and say, pick and choose like what directions in there we don't want or we do want. And so that's funny, but we can just don't look ahead. You have all the ingredients is kind of like the point of the metaphor. You have all the ingredients, all right, and at the end of the thing you will have the cake. Okay, you will have the cake. Okay, so now let's break this down into love, health, and wealth. So Aries, for you, for love, our Hierophant suggests grounding yourself in your core values around love. So we have really good values and morals in place. Like we just talked about how great your character was. How does that specifically apply to love? And what values do you want to have specifically in love? Like what values do you want to maintain as a partner? What values do you want to maintain in your relationship? Do the values that you hold in general, do they serve you in your partnership? Or do you need maybe a different set of values to bring into your partnership that will make that flourish? Something to think about, right? Like what do you truly want from a relationship? And, this can be intimate partnerships, this can be friends, this can be family. Whether that's, is it commitment? Is it shared growth? Is it tradition? Is it connection? Is it understanding? Is it like, what is it that you want out of it? And then that should probably be your values that you're, holding on a daily basis to put into it. Okay? With our Eight of Cups in love, this could mean stepping away from a connection that isn't serving you, or even like a mindset about connection and love that isn't serving you, which definitely is more in alignment with the general read, because I felt like these were emotional things that you're stepping away from, not physical things. I think you're just changing the way that you view relationships, and you're changing the way that you view love, so that, and you're stepping away from some old mindsets about love that were not serving you very well, so that you can have a more emotionally fulfilling life, right? There's something that felt voided in terms of love that, like, you're going to be able to feel more fulfilled in love. And depth, right? So much more depth, right? Maybe it's because something was superficial in the way of the relationships. Something was superficial and it wasn't fulfilling you. And we're seeking depth. I'm walking away from something superficial in relationship. I'm seeking more depth, okay? Alrighty. Here we go with our, why so serious? That's what I want to, why? You are serious as shit right now, Aries. Like, you're like, I've got my, what is that phrase? Like, nose to the grindstone or something. Like, I've got my nose to the grindstone, and I got like blinders on, and like whatever other metaphors you can think of that mean I am so serious and focused. I'm not playing around. I mean business now. Like, that is the vibe. Maybe I'm gonna throw that in. You mean business in the title. Because you're so serious, which is funny, because I feel like maybe that's like atypical for you. Okay, let's talk about this card. With it in reverse, it's like someone isn't putting in the effort, or like the work isn't balanced. So you feel an imbalance in relationships or in love. And that could be like just this like unreciprocal energy. This could be that you need to put in more effort. This could be that somebody else needs to put in more effort. It could just be also a mindset about reciprocity. Like, I always feel like I'm the one working harder, or they always feel like they're the one working harder, when really, like, we shouldn't even be like taking tallies in relationships about who's doing what. I think it's like if each person is giving 100%, like 100% could look different for different people. Me giving my best on this day right now, after I've had rest and like done a bunch of self-care, could look a lot different than somebody else giving 100% after being drained from work all week and like having a traumatic experience, and like, but still giving it your all is giving it your all, if that makes sense. So like, understanding that reciprocity shouldn't be looked at in terms of like check off box things that people do, and it also shouldn't you should also look at reciprocity in universal terms, so that we are putting out energy into a spiritual bank. We are all connected, we are all one, and if you believe in that concept of oneness, which if you're watching my channel, most likely you do, right? You probably wouldn't have been watching me very long if you didn't believe in the concept of oneness. And so what I put out, right, will come back to me, whether it's through the person that I put that energy into, or through a different person, right? If it's through the thing that I put the energy into, or through a different thing, it's going to come back to me, because it's going into my energetic bank, and I will get a return. I will get an ROE, return on energy, right? Like an ROI, like return on investment, but I will get an ROE. I will get a return on my energy, honey. Okay. that's that. Let's talk about health. Alright, our Hierophant in health suggests like leaning on established practices. So, possibly the need to consult an expert because there are structures and systems in place already that are designed to help you achieve health, the kind of health that you need, says God. Okay? And so, consulting experts and letting some people help you could definitely be appropriate for whatever it is that you're going through in health. And that, maybe trying something a little outside of your ordinary too, like a spiritual, or like a naturopathic doctor, or yoga practices, or something that you said you'd maybe never do. Like maybe try that. That's what I'm hearing there for your health. I'm feeling like it's like, ugh, what an area. Yuck. I don't want to. I just want to be healthy. I don't want to have to go through processes to be it. But whatever. Like, do what you got to do. Okay? Just do what you got to do. And lean on experts. Like, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to be a doctor. Maybe some of you are doctors, but you don't have to be your own doctor. Even if you are a doctor, Aries. So, I don't know. There's going to be, watch there be at least one Aries doctor watching me right now. He's like, oh my God, I needed to hear that because I am a doctor, and so I never thought that it was appropriate or that it was necessary for me to get the care I needed from a different person that does the exact same thing as me. Like, why would I waste my money? Well, because it feels good, Aries, feels good to receive care, especially if you've been feeling unreciprocal and love, right? To receive back and return the same kind of care that you give out to people every day. Oh my gosh, how healing would that be just for your spirit? And that hit me so hard that I felt chills from my head to my toe. Okay, Aries doctor, whoever is the Aries doctor, will you please tell me if that was you in the comments? I have to know. You cannot leave me hanging if that's you. And like and subscribe and buy my book. Okay, we're getting sillier now. Our energy's opening back up. Whoever's watching this is like, it's helping. I can feel that, and that your energy's opening back up. We're getting a little less serious now. All right, cool. That's good. That's a good result. Okay, let's talk about the 8 of Cups. It's a nudge to leave behind habits or environments that don't support your well-being. So we talked a lot about like addictions and obsessions and things like that. But so we've got to take a look at habits, and this doesn't even have to be like bad habits like addictions. It could just be like, hey, I don't work out enough, or I tend to eat too late at night, and then my body doesn't feel so great in the morning because I ate late at night. It could be something as simple as I don't know I love I like milkshakes because they remind me of my childhood, but like I learned a few years ago that I'm actually like lactose intolerant a little, and like not in a terrible way where like I'll die, but like it just messes up my stomach just a little, but I just tolerate it because I decided that like I just want my nostalgic milkshake. I don't know where that's coming from, but just something silly. It could just be something silly and minor that you're saying it's not that big of a deal, and but it is, and it's going to make a big difference. Maybe you like to have a soda every night with your dinner, and like it would just be this switch, like your body's like not tolerating that much sugar very well, so it'd be like switch to like a sparkling water, or switch to a sugar-free version of the soda. It could be something very little. It doesn't have to be huge. But leaving behind, there's something that's a bad habit, and it's like I feel like that you're very aware because you've been coming into awareness about a lot of things, and you can't unknow what you know now. So because your body's been telling you, like, this isn't good for me, and it's not good for you. It's something that you want to stop or leave behind. So now you need to like follow through, right? Because we talked about the action part here. It's about being actionable. Actionable. So instead of just like that, I feel like that's what weighs on you the most from this reading, is like the wisdom part. It's like, I know the answers. I know the answers. So why don't I do the answers? Well, do the answers. If you have the solutions, use the solutions. That's what I'm hearing there. So do that with health as well, by stopping things that aren't good for you and starting things that are. And I know that sounds really simple, stopping things that are bad for you and starting things that are. Easier said than done, right? Habit setting and habit breaking. It's tough stuff, but it's simple, man. It's simple. And I love you. And that's why I tell you, this in that way. Right? I love you. God loves you. You deserve to be healthy. So embark on that. Walk away from the things. Embark on that beautiful divine journey to health. You so deserve that. Okay, let's talk about this card for health. 8 of Pentacles. In the reverse right now is trying something related to health and not seeing results. So again, with the not seeing results, you're like, but I am trying to fix my health. And I'm working out and I'm working out and I'm working out and I just still feel like I'm not losing the weight. Like, why is it not going anywhere? Or like, I am, I'm working so hard to have like a structured routine and sleep better at night, yet I still wake up and I'm tired. And right, it's like I'm doing the things, I am doing what I feel like is in my power to do in some ways, yet I'm feeling like I'm not getting a big enough result or return in terms of that. It also could just symbolize like burnout or fatigue. Okay, like I'm just so exhausted. I need my soul, right? This isn't about my body at this point. This is about my soul needs some help and some work. I need to relax and replenish on a soul level so that can ripple out into my physical reality. That's what I would like you to focus on, because we talked, that was a lot in here about those spiritual values and things. I feel like you have to let your soul get into a place of peace before it's, get your soul into a place of health and allow that to ripple out into your body. And that almost like you're trying to do it the opposite way, like you're trying to get your body into shape, and that it will change the rest of you and all the other subtle bodies, which isn't wrong, not untrue. Okay, it's totally appropriate to think that working on our physical self will improve our health mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. But I'm hearing for you specifically right now, focus more on those spiritual things and let that help change you in those other areas. Maybe that's why the yoga thing came up. It was like, oh, if you don't like to, maybe you need to do yoga, and you thought that was the last thing you would ever do. I don't even know if I said that out loud earlier either. I just thought it. Maybe I just thought it. Did I say it out loud? Let me know in the comments. I can't remember. Did I say it out loud? Because I was like, oh, like maybe yoga was the last thing you were going to do on the planet, but that's the one thing that's going to help you right now. I don't know. I can't remember. Okay, so that's health, honey. And let's do wealth. So our Hierophant in wealth is talking about we're reminded of our structures, we're reminded of our wisdom again, but we're going to use that for things like budgeting, seeking mentorship around this area. Who do you know that is doing better than you in terms of wealth? Don't let that be scary. Let that be, exciting that you know somebody that's doing better than you. Ask them what they do. Adopt them and then make it actionable, right? Walk away from your bad habits in terms of the wealth. But we have to allow divine mentorship in this area. We have to stay grounded in methods, right? A lot of the times it's also like what I just said. Like it's something very simple, like don't spend as much money. Like, and it's so simple that it sounds stupid, but like the simplest thing is like the answer, like, oh, I don't like that I never have money in savings. Stop spending so much money. Find areas to stop spending money and put that money in the savings account, right? But then, like, so much of the spending is like emotional and impulsive and like all of those things, like, which could be a bad habit. But like, just doing that, um, let it be the simplest answer until, sometimes when we come into these awarenesses and these awakenings about things, we laugh at ourselves like, oh, what a silly human. The answer, it was so simple the whole time, yet felt so hard, and it just took, us finally getting so damn mad at ourselves that we were finally able to like do the different thing. But that's what I'm hearing. It's really simple stuff, tried and true. That people have been working on this concept for all of time. Wealth has been a subject and a topic for all of time. It's been an area of focus for people for all of time. There are certain things that are tried and true that you cannot go wrong with, no matter what you do, and that's what Spirit is saying to focus on right now. Tried and true, long-standing traditions around wealth building. And I don't know if I want to go there. So I'm hearing even like religious, like biblical principles, spiritual principles. It's definitely spiritual, because I've been hearing that the whole time, that we need to focus on spiritual. It's like, what are the spiritual values and principles that we want to stick upon your wealth, right? How can you create a spiritual wealth structure that's applicable, right, to what you want to do in terms of wealth? So maybe that's tithing, right? If that's something you've never done before and you're like, hey, I just want to be like a better giver, like I want to be more generous. Or maybe you just want to learn, like, about like just what different religions and spiritual texts say about money and wealth, so that you can have like a deeper, right, we talk about seeking depth, this deeper understanding of wealth from a higher plane, is what I'm hearing. So do that. Get wise up about money on all the levels, about wealth on all the levels. What does that mean to you in all these different ways? It's okay to get spiritual around it. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up soon. Hang in there with me, Aries. We're almost at the end, okay? We've got our Eight of Cups, saying that it could be time to walk away from a financial situation that feels stable but isn't aligned with your goals or your dreams anymore. So you could be doing something to make money, and it's been working for a long time, but it's time to either do it in a different way or leave it behind for good. So whatever you've been doing so far to make your money, there needs to be a reassessment, changes around. We need to align, right? Bring in those spiritual things, like, what am I supposed to do now? Just because it worked before doesn't mean it's meant to work now. It's okay to grow and evolve in the way that you acquire your wealth. It's okay to grow and evolve. And you've obviously had a big awakening here in this area. So allow that to happen. Allow yourself to grow and evolve, and allow that to ripple down, right? Trickle down into your physical reality, and make the adjustments right here on the ground level to accommodate this new wisdom and this new awareness that you have around wealth. That's okay. Do it. And then lastly, our Eight of Pentacles here in the reverse. Again, we're talking about lack of progress. We're talking about a feeling of, we putting in work around finances or wealth, and like in different areas. And wealth is just the accumulation of all the things that makes you feel wealthy, however that be. And feeling like you're not being rewarded in the same way. So I want to ask you to pull gratitude into your experience. I want you to look back on where you've been and where you're at now, and really honor yourself for the growth. That could be a way to raise that vibration here in this term, in this area. What did money used to look like for you? What did wealth used to look like for you? And how much have you grown? That's an instant way to feel better in that area and express gratitude for every single thing that you have, all the way down to, your running water or a nickel in your pocket. Okay, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Um, and then again, we're talking about revisiting. This is the daily things. So looking at your daily routine around what you do every day that factors into the way that you get your money, and then seeing if those daily routines and structures, the grind, right? Grind with no growth. It's the daily grind. Is the grind leading to the growth that you want? And if not, how can you restructure the grind to make the efforts, or you just refocus that effort? Remember I was talking about all those pathways converging, right, into one. How can I laser focus that, the grind into an area that will have a better reward for me? Because if I'm going to do the work, I want this reward. I can put in the same amount of effort over here and get a little reward, or the same amount of effort over here and get a bigger reward. What do I need to do different to make that happen for me? All right. We're going to pull. Oh my gosh, we're already at the end of your reading, beautiful soul. Okay. We're going to pull from my deck, which is the How to Wear a Crown Divine Guidance cards, with my face looking like my book cover, but these cards go in alignment with my book. I'm so proud of this deck. They're not available yet, but they are available for pre-sale. If I'm being real, we don't know when they're coming out. We have no clue. But I did want people to go ahead and have a chance to be the first spot, and you're going to get special extra things if you are the first to order. So you can find that from going to my website and my academy if you're interested in having one of these card decks and supporting me and my business in that way. We've got the Remember Who You Are card, rediscovering your innocence. So I feel like this is going to play into your love, your health, and your wealth so much by just returning to remembrance of who you are. Who were you? This is the question I want you to ask yourself, Aries. Who were you before all the shit? Sorry to ask it in such a blunt way, but who were you before all of the trauma and the drama and the responsibilities and the burdens and the disappointments and the betrayals and the guilt and the shame and the remorse? And who were you before you let yourself down? Who were you before everybody else let you down? Who were you before you realized what being an adult meant? Who were you before you had responsibilities that you couldn't walk away from? Who were you before the grind? Who were you before you fell into this daily grind, into the rat race, into the trap, into the, not that what you're doing isn't good or you're doing it with good intention, but you just need to know. You just need to remember. Who were you when you laughed? Oh, gosh, no wonder this reading's so serious vibes. Who were you when you laughed? Who were you when you played? Who were you when you had fun? Who were you when life felt hopeful and meaningful and purposeful and fulfilling, and you had dreams and you weren't so damn serious, Aries? Who were you when you were innocent? Oh, on that note, I really want to just have a tear for you, because that's so deep and real and raw that I'm feeling like that's going to be a powerful moment for my Aries viewers. And if you feel vulnerable and comfortable enough to share anything that's on your heart in the comments, I would absolutely love to connect with you in that way. But you do have to remember who you are, If you want to reconnect to yourself enough to reclaim the beauty that is possible for you in all these areas, right? In love and health and wealth. Where you can change this. Upright. And be happy with your everyday life. Then you have to remember who you are. And you have to realign with the innocence, realign with your soul's truth about who you are. And I feel like, especially in that wealth, right? What if you made money off the things that you loved? What if you just did one thing as like a little side hustle, and it's the thing that you love to do, that you would do for free, that you used to do all the time just because you loved it, and then you found a way to monetize that. Just one. Even if you made $1 from that thing, Aries, I'm telling you, and I know from experience, because I do things that I love and I make money from them, right? So I'm telling you from my heart's deepest knowing, that's the best dollar that you would ever make. That $1 that you will make from doing the thing that you love is 10,000 times better than $100,000 made from something that you hated the whole time. You will love that dollar with every cell of your being. Okay? I think that's enough, right? Well, I love you so much. God loves you so much. If you could help me out, I know you're so serious right now. But can you get real serious about hitting the subscribe button? Can you be really serious about hitting the like button on this video, and be really serious about leaving me a comment and letting me know what you got out of this reading, what you thought? Was it in alignment? Was it not? I just rhymed too. That was cool. I was like Dr. Seuss right there. Did you hear that? I'm getting out of your serious energy. I'm going back to being funny and silly. You can be serious all by yourself. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be there with you. I love you. I'm supporting you. And if you take anything from this, just remember you're worthy. You're powerful. You're full of limitless potential. Bye for now. Have a great June. Oh, all the stuff is in the description. Kisses.